What is up, Mets fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Mets'd podcast. I'm doing the intro just because we're changing things up, and the Mets did end this great Subway Series on a win. We're going to talk about everything that happened in both games this series, as well as the vibe around the stadium, just the vibe amongst ourselves, other fans, what was going on the last couple of days. But before we start, you know where to find us: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, at Mets'd, METSDUP. And now, going to bring in Mark, because it was a really emotional couple of days here.
It's a roller coaster of emotion. I mean, just back and forth baseball for good and for bad reasons here and there. I mean, the Subway Series didn't have Aaron Judge and have Pete Alonso, but there is so much to talk about in just these two games. Like, normally the two-game series are pretty quick episodes. We're going to make this one a little bit quicker because John and Vito here and Brian, everybody wants to get home. It's 11:45 at night. Starting at 11:45 because for some reason the Mets refuse to play quick baseball games, even with a 30-minute delay.
Or normal baseball games.
Yeah, normal. Whatever it is, always keep it interesting, and that's exactly what happened in this series. Game 1, Game 2, a lot of things going on, so much to talk about. I mean, I will say, like, the energy at the stadium was pretty good. Granted, it was a lot of Yankees fans, a lot of Yankees fans at these games, but like the Mets fans, when we got our chances to rally a little bit as a fan base, we did come out.
No matter what, the Subway Series is this like immaculate New York City event. You just see groups of friends like split Mets and Yankees. You see a lot of split couples, Mets and Yankees. You see a lot of Yankee fans infiltrate. You see a lot of Mets fans fight back. It's really just, it's kind of like the way like St. Patrick's Day is for like partiers, where it's like no matter what, everyone's going out on St. Patrick's Day. Like, if you're even like a casual baseball fan in New York, everyone's showing up for the Subway Series. Everyone wants to get here. Everyone wants to have a good time. Everyone wants to make their mark. And even just being at the ballpark on Tuesday, what time we get here? Like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's a long day Tuesday.
Like, you could already kind of feel the vibes in the stadium. There, the TBS crew was here. MLB Network people were here. There's a lot of talking heads on the field. A lot of handshaking. A lot of nice people we met. Just everything feels like it's a little more magnified for the Subway Series.
Yeah, no, I mean it's the Super Bowl of Mets or New York baseball, I should say. Like you said, all the casuals and stuff come out to watch. You see friends, you see family that you don't see often. I saw a couple guys I played baseball with in high school I was friends with that I haven't seen in 3 or 4 years.
Saw my cousin, shout out Matt.
Yeah, so like everyone comes out, like you said. The energy's always here from the start. Might as well start off with Game 1 here. Let's talk about the loss first, because let's end it on a high note, because we got a lot to talk about with Game 2 and a lot of fun stuff. Game 1, though, I mean, I feel like the story here was that Scherzer was just not sharp again, and he even admitted it himself towards the end, or after the game, talked about his slider was not good. He did not feel great on the mound. He has to be better. And I mean, as poorly as he did pitch, you do tip your cap a little bit when the guys who aren't playing well do go right in front of the media. They answer all the questions. They talk through it. Even Lindor after the game, I mean, the guy looked like just shattered, honestly. And they go and answer all their questions. Like, that's a tough part of the job.
Yeah, it is. New York, the accountability is really refreshing. It's great to see. Not refreshing like you don't expect it, but refreshing in the fact that it's consistent and these guys aren't like shying away from what's going on. But it was very frustrating with Scherzer given a 5 runs, a 4-run lead, and that was by the end of the 3rd inning. To then let the bomb of the Yankee order give it right back. It was pretty dejecting to have like DJ LeMahieu, Isaiah Keener-Falefa, Jake Bowers, Kyle Higashioka. Like, they weren't the LeMahieu one, that was a home run, sure, on a hanging slider. But
Volpe.
Volpe, God. The story about Volpe on his off day eating chicken parm and hanging out with his AAA friends, like fixing his swing. Like, what's going on with the Yankees internally? That has to happen for him, for Anthony Volpe to fix his swing. But very frustrating to watch the bomb of the Yankee order make that move and do that. And you heard Scherzer talk about struggling to find the feel of his slider after the game. And you do look at the stats this year. We broke this down a little bit early in the year when Scherzer was struggling more. He had a pretty good stretch of pitching now, but this was another reminder that he still isn't really all the way to the Max Scherzer he was in 2022. And you look at some of the stats on this slider as compared to last year. After the 2 home runs hit by Yankees on sliders on Tuesday, Scherzer's given up 5 home runs on a slider this year.
Yeah.
Last year, he gave up 0 home runs on a slider.
Yeah, when you told me that was like, you asked me, like, how many last year? I'm like, I don't know, like maybe 3 probably. And you're like, 0. I was like, man, that is a stark difference from what's going on.
Yeah, 0. Hitters are hitting over 300 on Scherzer's slider last year. This is not a batting average podcast, but that is a number that will get your attention, especially when last year they only hit 180. They're slugging 652 to 348 ISO. Like, the hitters are 410 WOBA versus a 184 WOBA last year. And then you look at the pitch metrics itself, and he's getting a couple less inches of drop on that slider, which is probably a little bit concerning.
Flatten out.
Yeah, the velocity is down a little bit across the board, but that probably also comes from his uneven, ramp up this year between the spring training, the early injury, and then the suspension. There's a lot of weird things going on with that slider with Scherzer right now. We hope he can find the feel of it and get it back because the whiff rate's down. Swing strike rate is down. It's all down. It's all down that slider. Hitters are squaring it up better. His fastball, even though the velocity, like I said, is down a little bit, is still the pitch leading the way for him.
Yeah.
Is getting the most whiffs. And even with that less velocity, it basically has the same batted ball stats as of last year. Similar WOBA, similar expected stats. Stats isn't really the issue, but like this whole thing, the way it went down Tuesday, kind of put us in a bit of a bad spot.
Yeah,
feeling wise.
The life got sucked out of the stadium. I
Yeah.
mean, like we were vibing, we were hanging out. It was like everything was feeling good, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, it's happening. And then it happened, and it was like, I mean, just there's something about "Let's Go Yankees" that really just grinds my gears.
So it's 2 syllables.
It's the 2 syllables really boom. They really boom throughout the stadium, and the way the Yankees fans cheer and stuff, it gets me so mad. Like even tonight when they were up for a little bit, we were hanging out in right field, and just hearing the conversations that the Yankee fans have, like to talk about, like they're a fan base that wins for a team that's supposedly done it often, wins all the time. They sure don't act like it. Well, they sure don't.
We had the Yankee fan tonight tell us that, like he said, we've been irrelevant for about 10 years now. We understand that the Astros are our dad. Like that was pretty comforting to hear from a Yankee fan here and admit that.
He was a good dude.
Very cool that Yankee fan said that. Happy to broadcast that in this podcast. But we also did wind up in that same section. Did have a lot of Yankee fans out in right field the last few days, a spot that we like to stand during games because usually a good standing room vibe. But I guess just a lot of these Yankee fans were in standing room, and there were a lot of really annoying ones because one of our favorite words in this podcast, Yankee fans are truly the epitome of animal.
Animal.
It's ridiculous. The way they talk, act, dress, maneuver themselves. It's unbelievable to watch these people exist. Like, I can't even believe that they're going to work the next day.
I have a question for you guys.
What's up, John?
Who is the most annoying Yankee fan in your life?
Oh, well, I was going to get to that. I was going to wait.
Like if you had a
personal life, or are we talking about
personal life,
Personal
not
life.
like not a Twitter person, like personal,
Okay.
like that that you want to shout out, look in the camera, and be like, "It's you."
I'm going to let you take that first. I got to think.
My one is definitely my Uncle Frankie, my dad's brother. He's the one whose daughter was married over the weekend. But he's the epitome of just the annoying Yankee fan, loves talking about the past, the way baseball's supposed to be played, the way that the franchises are held to different standards. He never stops. It's ridiculous. He expects excellence. He lives and dies in every Yankee regular season game too. It's really ridiculous.
You got to stop talking to your uncles, and I've told you this before.
You did. He has said you have to stop talking to him.
Oh, I love my Uncle Frankie though. He's a real baseball head.
But I've heard your conversations. It seems like he's a stressful guy.
He is a stressful guy, but I have heard. The thing is, I have 2 uncles. He is much more tame. The other one is completely off this. He's off the rocker. He's nuts. He's got one lazy eye too. Shout out Lou. He usually listens. He's a great uncle. He's one of the most brilliant baseball minds I've ever talked about. But then he gets into like his mode.
You ever watch Viva La Bam?
Yes, but not super specifically.
Like, do you remember Don Vito from Viva La Bam? Is it those vibes? Is it those vibes, like the lazy eye? And
Not really. He's more of like a savant that like lacks a lot of the social cues and awareness. He's gonna listen to this, so he knows.
So John,
yeah, it's not like John.
Yankee John.
He's not like Yankee age John.
Every
I
fan
love
base
both
needs
my
one,
uncles.
right?
I love Lou and Frankie, but Frankie, I actually convinced him over the weekend because he's like super anti all the advanced stats and analytics and stuff. I convinced him about how good barrels is as a stat, and he took to it. He was like, "Oh, he's like that seems really meaningful. I'm gonna keep an eye on that one going forward." What?
He's a sponge.
He wants to take in what should be taken in.
That
He's
feels
really
like-
reluctant.
that feels like when I got my mom to start eating grapes. Like I slowly pushed them on her, and then one day she started eating them, and I was like,
Your mom wasn't eating grapes?
my mom wasn't eating any fruit. And then one day I left a bowl of grapes in front of her, and she started eating it. And me and Ala, my fiance, were just like, let's not acknowledge it.
You're like, quiet. You're like, shh.
Green or red?
Green cotton candy grapes.
Jumps
Oh,
right to the
cotton
hard
candy grapes
stuff.
are so
Jumps
good.
right to the hard stuff.
Those are great entry level grapes.
Because it's candy. It's candy.
Great
grapes.
entry level fruit. in general.
Introductory grapes.
Sugar grapes.
Mark, who's the most annoying Yankee fan in your life?
Wow, that's I don't really surround myself with many Yankee fans in
You
my
gotta
personal
have
life.
one.
No, I mean Yankee fans have a complex. You have too many Yankee fans around you. You're not a Yankee fan. You're really aware of it.
Like the guys that I'm friends with that are Yankee fans are not annoying Yankee fans. Like my boy Bengal, Madden YouTuber. Some people who are listening to this might not know. Apparently, people say we look alike and that we're brothers, which is crazy.
I don't think you look like it at all.
Yeah, it's nuts, and we sound alike. I don't even want to say he's annoying because he's not. Like,
Well, because he's smart. He's a
smart
smart
guy.
guy.
He's a
Yeah.
smart guy, man.
He's not like, bro, 27 rings. Like, those are the Yankee fans where it's like, you guys got to stop. Like, one Yankee fan was trying to get
I gotta
like,
look at my phone.
insane chance going today in the outfield. We literally had to leave the standing room section because they were being just so ridiculous. It was very weird vibes. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm like scrolling through my phone, There's just I really don't surround
Scroll to your
myself.
phone. Oh yeah, scroll to the recent texts.
Yeah,
See, like who's
that's
in your
what I'm
life.
saying. Is like who's chirping me.
That is a good way of doing it because they were flowing tonight. I got to shout out my father-in-law, who I told him I was going to anoint him with this. Although my brother-in-law, I married a family of Yankee fans, I guess, whatever. He claims that my daughter is going to be a Yankee fan, which
John,
that honestly grinds my
You
gears.
can't let that happen.
Like
John.
that actually, I'm like, Gary, it wasn't funny the first time. Please
Yeah,
just...
no.
Don't
There's
say
no
his
option
name.
there.
Don't dox him.
It's fine. I mean,
You
I'm
can say
not gonna
first
say his
names. I'm
last
saying
name.
names.
Gary's a popular
Yeah,
name.
Gary the Snail, a lot of Garys out there. But yeah, he's just and like he does it in this subtle way. You know, he's a smart guy too. So he tries to. You know what he does? He pretends like he likes the Mets when they're not playing the Yankees. Like he's kind of
No,
he
those
wants
are
to
the
see
worst.
good things
Yeah,
happen.
not
And the
true.
second a bad thing happens, the next thing you know, bang, text message.
That's the funniest part about the modern Yankee fan.
John had to get a curse.
John curse every episode. It's
Vito,
unbelievable.
let's shun him real quick. Shall
Yeah.
we shun him right now?
Shun.
Is
Yeah.
it time to shun him?
Shun.
Shun. Everyone else, put on their hats. John doesn't have one.
Put on
He
your
doesn't
hats,
get
guys.
one.
Shun John.
That's
I don't
fine.
even. Where's the logo?
Nothing for John.
Logos in the front. These are available this Sunday, Father's Day. Fans get a hat at the ballpark, and it's a great hat. Bucket hat day this Sunday, Father's Day versus the Cardinals.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I'm not a bucket hat man, but I'll wear one right now to make John feel awkward.
John, where's your
Always a
hat?
bucket hats. Yeah, why does John
Where's
have a
your hat, John?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I do feel a little bit left out,
Yeah,
but you know,
exactly.
I'm sorry for cursing.
That's what you get.
Every
But look,
episode.
I was heated. I mean, this is how I feel.
Yankee fans get me
This
here.
is how I feel.
I don't have Yankee fans in my life.
It's because
really.
Yankee fans act like they don't care about the Mets.
That's
and
what
then,
I'm
And then the
saying.
second anything happens with the Mets, they're the
Well,
first
they
to jump
love to
on
pile
it.
on.
I mean, shall we talk
What?
about the one Yankee fan who's been really mouthing off about the Mets recently?
We might as well say it.
Yeah, Keith McPherson.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, talk about. Have you seen Vito?
One name Keith. That's what I call him these
Yeah,
days
one
because
name
he's
Keith.
one name Keith.
One name Keith.
WFN. I mean, you tip your cap there. They said Keith said this.
Yeah.
And it was Keith McPherson.
But,
But for someone who loves to say, and you know what, I'm feeding into it, and I don't care. This is content. This is good content. He loves to say how much he doesn't care about the Mets, how much we're irrelevant.
He actually, before the Subway Series last year on the radio waves, I believe, he said playing the Mets is like spring training to the Yankees.
Yeah. Well, he was out apparently at the game yesterday, hanging out with children, and he was amongst 7 other people screaming at the 7 line, saying stuff like, "We can't hear you," and like Mets fans suck.
Like antagonizing the 7 line.
And there was like 7 of them, and he then posted the clip to Twitter, and it was like just cringe. It was so cringe. Like I know I'm a cringe guy too. I popped bottles when the Yankees got knocked down in the playoffs. Like
best
in
day of the
20
year.
You were in the
Yankee
Yankees
Celebration Day.
playoff hype video.
Yeah, I was in a Yankees playoff hype video more than Keith McPherson has been in a Yankees playoff hype video. So, I mean,
Yeah.
talk about rent free. But, I mean, at the end of the day, those kind of Yankee fans that just like pretend like we don't exist and then love to talk trash. Like, what is your deal?
Well,
I don't
mean,
get it.
It's a function of where the Yankees have kind of gone as a franchise. And we alluded to this in the preview of this series, where they kind of went from being like the big bad bullies on the street, lineup full of power hitters, to now they're kind of like
They don't even spend the most money.
no, I'm saying they're like an East Coast version of like the Brewers or the Guardians now, where they try to win on the edges. They get a lot of these like no name relievers they cycle through. You see this batting order for the Yankees, like they're getting big production out of leadoff hitter Jake Bowers, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Like all these guys are real scrappy type players. Like that's who the modern Yankees have become. And I think Yankee fans are really struggling with that change of identity because a lot of them when they were growing up, they were coming off the shine from the 90s when they were the best team in baseball about 20, almost 25 years ago now. They were very good back then. And now they're going on a decade of like being basically irrelevant and not you guys know, I'll ask a trivia question to the team right now. Do you guys know the last time the New York Yankees franchise won a playoff series against a
Oh,
team
yeah, you gave me this one.
that was not from the AL Central?
I
Not
can't
the
answer.
Twins. Was it 2000? Let's see.
Last time
Yeah,
the Yankees,
you've asked this last year.
Yeah.
I know
And the answer has not changed.
Damn it,
Yeah.
I know. 2000, they beat the Mariners in the ALCS in 2000.
It was after 2000.
Should I say it?
Okay. No, don't say it.
Okay.
Give John a sec.
Don't say it.
Good
Gotta take
podcasting
his
here.
hat off. I'm sweating.
Yeah.
While he guesses, while he gets his answer together, I'm gonna say real quick, my Yankee fan in my life. I have 2 best men. One of my best men is a Mets fan who I had season tickets with. The other one is a Yankees fan.
Okay.
09 Angels.
No, that was the second to last one. The last one was actually
2010.
2012. Against the
Ta-
Orioles.
That's right.
Wait, no, they beat the Oakland A's in the wild
In the
card.
wild card
wild
game.
card.
Okay,
Doesn't
wild
count.
card doesn't count.
Series.
Okay. Series.
Yeah.
And I just want to say this about this friend real quick. He's never admitted to this. He refuses to acknowledge this to many people. Big Yankees fan. He had a Mets Sunday ticket plan in 2015.
Whoa.
Because he just wanted to go to games, and I was like, just get it, plan with me.
It's just
You
fun.
know what a Met fan would never be caught dead doing?
I would never. Never.
Have a Yankees
And
ticket
do you know what it felt like in 2015 when they were going on that run and he thought he caused it?
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I don't think I would ever like willingly go to the Yankee Stadium. Like I would never pay my own money to go to the Yankee Stadium. I don't think.
No, pay?
No.
No, for free, I'll go all
I
day.
went once.
sure.
I went once 2 years ago. I went to see Otani, and it was the game where it was really hot.
We saw
It was the rain
Is that
delay.
the rain delay game?
Where he
got
got really
crushed?
hot. He got crushed, and he left in like the
It's like-
second inning.
I think it might have been the first.
First
Yeah,
inning. He didn't make it out of
inning.
the first.
I think it was 2
yeah.
outs.
And then Chapman gave up the grand slam to Jared Walsh, right?
Yeah. That was like a hot, humid, sticky day.
That was when the day before was when the player threw up, and then Kevin Durant went. That guy threw up.
Wasn't that Dylan Bundy?
It was Dylan
It
Bundy.
was on Monday. Yeah, 2021.
Kevin Durant going. That guy threw up.
That was funny. But yeah, I don't even remember where we were. I mean, Tuesday
Tangents.
night it was cool. The Mets did like rally back. Luis Guillorme had a big single to tie the game, but then we couldn't. That was it. Yankees manufactured the rally after that. Donaldson sacrificed fly after Brandon Nimmo drops fly ball, which is something that just never ever
Although,
happens.
like you said, Mike Petriello talked about it afterwards. Like it was actually like a very, very difficult ball. It took whatchamacallit. Like it was like a 35% catch.
35% catch probability, and Brandon Nimmo had a near perfect jump and route. So the way, as good as he was in the pre-play, it made it much easier than it actually looked. But it's still a ball that like, it hit him in the glove.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And if he makes that play, like the game is probably completely different. And then we had a little rallies, a couple after that, and then just some strikeouts. Lindor and Marte, and Lindor's very contrite, as we mentioned about it after the game. Yeah, and
I mean, we saw Lindor. He changed it up.
he did
Shaved his head.
really. Yeah,
Got the clean haircut. He's calling it the Edgar, which I think you guys said is named after who?
Is it after Edgar
Edgar Suero, yeah.
the team travel?
Yes.
Yep.
That's what everyone was saying. I don't know
Yeah.
who he was, so I wanted to get it from you guys because you guys seem to
He
know.
does have a similar haircut.
Yeah.
So that does make
he got
sense.
the Edgar.
yeah.
Shaved it down. Real tight now. Skin fade.
And he
It's a
hit a
good
nice,
summer cut.
It's a good, really good summer
You
cut.
gotta
And
cool off.
good new dad cut too.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm not going to do that. So
I mean, you're like 95% of the way there.
You're not going to give up the faux hawk when the baby comes in?
hell no.
I mean, John, if you had braids, would you give him up for the baby?
If I had braids, would I give him up for the baby?
Yeah, it's an easy answer.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect. Good
There you
job,
go.
John.
Good
Yeah.
answer, John.
Father of the year.
He's learning. He's learning.
But looks like Lindor also
Never held
was.
one before.
Looks like Lindor was a little quicker to the ball on Wednesday night as well. He hit that nice double early that spurned a little bit of a rally. But
sweating in here.
yeah.
It's hot. In
I don't
here.
think it's any different at all. I'm
feel
like
like
wearing an extra layer. I'm not
sweating.
hot. I don't know, man. You got
I'm going through it.
yeah, focus up. But I don't know, we were going through it, honestly Tuesday after the game. Mark and I went out with a couple of our friends.
Take it.
Shout out War the NYM, friend of the program. He we went to a bowling alley and we just threw balls at pins for hours.
The gutter?
The gutter, yeah. We bowled until almost 2:00 in the morning.
I honestly feel like my hangover's hitting me now.
That could be possible.
It might be like getting hit 24 hours later.
yeah. Oh, look,
which is-
John. Wow, why are you wearing a hat? That's so weird.
I wanted to feel included.
We all took our
Including
hats
those
off.
what? No one
now
else is
you're,
wearing
now
a
you're
hat.
the only one not wearing a hat.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Vito is.
I have a hat, but it's like a different hat.
cap.
Yeah.
We all took our hats off. You do look adorable, though. And if you want that hat, you could get it on Sunday at the Father's Day game, like new father John.
There you go.
I don't think by then I will be.
You don't think?
I mean, I don't know. You know.
Yeah,
We
who
make
knows?
plans and God laughs.
There you- all right, whatever.
Let's talk about this
Yeah,
game.
moving on to Wednesday's game. It was definitely like a bit of probably like an eerie feeling heading to the ballpark.
Yeah.
I had like a long day. Played a lot of pickleball this morning. Beautiful courts also by the Brooklyn Bridge. Gorgeous, overlooking the city. It
The
was-
man-made ones?
I
Like
played-
the people. I know every pickleball coach is man-made. I don't know
it's
what
a
I meant
natural
by that.
pickleball court, yeah. yeah, natural.
But I mean the one that like people just showed up and made themselves, or like the city made it.
There's the one in the pier, and then there's the one in the Squib Park that's like a little elevated, and we did a little bit of each.
Okay, because I'm in a Brooklyn pickleball group that talks about playing at the one that's like built by people under the pier.
I think they're all built by. Yeah, I can't do this, but yeah,
Built by like it's not city built. It's not city ordained.
by the people.
This wasn't paid by taxpayers. This
people.
was paid by. I guess at the end of the day, everything's paid by taxpayers.
I'll be honest, I don't know the origin of these courts. I'll get that for you later. But I had like a moment when I came back because I biked all the way there, biked back. I caught in the rain.
This is good.
It was just a long, weird day, and like I was like too tired to like get ready to hop in the shower and too early to get ready to come to the ballpark. But I was too sweaty to like go on my bed or even want to go on the couch because it was so muggy and I was playing pickleball and I biked. And I just like laid down on my floor because I was like feeling so dejected from like this last like week and a half of Mets baseball. And I like fell asleep on my floor. I took like an hour nap on the floor of my room. Just like a sad nap on my ground.
Last night's game hurt me.
It did.
It really hurt me. Like it made me feel different. And I was coming to the stadium and I'll be honest, I was a little negative. I was a little sad. I did not feel great. I was down and I was like, I need a Mets win. I need a Mets win badly today. Just for my mental state, I tweeted out, for my sanity, I need a Mets win.
Dramatic, Mark.
Yeah, I was being very dramatic. Luckily, Justin Verlander did bear down for us. He wasn't one of his best starts, but he gave us what we need. Started off a little bit rough, but 6 innings, 6 Ks, 3 hits, 1 earned. That was a very veteran performance.
And it was cool because Verlander was about 40 pitches through 2 innings. It took him almost 20 to get through the first inning in a 1-2-3 inning, which is very bizarre, strange to see. And seeing the way the bullpen was taxed the day before, and even seeing that this game even wound up in extra innings, the way it was worked today, he found a way to be efficient moving through his stuff through like the Yankees lineup over and over again. It was really cool to see because at the time, Garrett Cole was throwing a no-no on the other side of him. I think it was through 4 innings. So
we went to right field and we were just out loud. Wow, it's crazy. Garrett Cole is not giving up a hit.
Yeah, no hits for the Mets still.
Francisco Lindor banged the double off the wall, which was great. You were talking about Francisco changing up the swing a little bit. We didn't get to see as much in the stadium, but apparently on TV it was a lot more prominent. What was he? I think he was more upright.
Mm-hmm. Apparently also from the left side where we know he's had more struggles this year. But also another note on Verlander. See, we talked about it last episode, and I mentioned Lance Brozdowski talked about it too, the fact that the shape on his fastball is a little bit flatter this year.
Yeah.
So having a little bit more drop, it has less of that rising action. It's just a little bit less optimal, especially now that he's throwing that between 94 and 96 rather than vintage Verlander throwing it between 97 and 99. And he did make a huge adjustment in this game because it still was that same flat shape he's been struggling with this year. To combat that, he threw more sliders than fastballs. And Justin Verlander had only done that 3 other times his entire career before tonight. Really? He did it on September 16th of last year, twice in 2019, and never his entire career before 2019.
Okay, so he made an adjustment.
And that was a huge adjustment for him because he was able to hide that fastball a little more, and the slider was getting lots of swings and misses, and the curveball looked very good playing off them as well. So really good adjustment by Justin Verlander, probably also by the Mets staff. Shout out everybody out there for making that move. Because it was meaningful and it happened. It helped fuel this really good outing.
And we talked about how the Astros have owned the Yankees. So has Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander is their daddy.
Yeah, it was probably just a lot of comfort for Verlander too, facing a team that he's so used to defeating.
Yeah, so used to knocking out of the playoffs, postseason, making sure that they don't continue on with their. They love to finish in like 6th place.
No, I mean again,
they love to be like the 6th best team in the American League.
Yeah, haven't beaten a team not from the AL Central in the playoff series in a decade.
Yeah, no, they haven't done it. Which. We needed that. We needed that on the pitching side. It was good to see Verlander do that, like you said. And also offense. I mean, granted, it did take some time for them to get it going, and it's not like they put up a ton of runs.
Still only 4 runs.
Yeah, I mean, you went up against Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
I love to besmirch the Yankees. Garrett Cole is really good.
No, I mean, I think Garrett Cole is probably, in some roundabout way, has become one of the most underrated players in all of baseball.
For sure.
Yankee fans bemoan him on a regular basis, and every single year he gives between 200 and 230 innings. He's like running like 35% strikeout rates, like 28, 26% strikeout minus walk rates. He's consistently basically like a top 3 pitcher as a floor in baseball. And Yankee fans, for some reason, he has failed in the playoffs many times. I think that is something
not
Yankees
a big
fans
game
hold
pitcher.
near and dear. We know that, especially that game against the Red Sox 2021. That was just that
was awesome.
So sweet to watch. But
an inning.
The things that he does, especially in the regular season, are Herculean every single year. So you're facing Garrett Cole. You're not really expecting to go have a big day at the ballpark.
No, but it was good to see Lindor put that ball there. It was good to see Tommy Pham put one as well off the wall. Big time Tommy. I mean, we gotta talk about one big time Tommy was at the game.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking he's a Yankee fan, although
that
was
makes
predictable.
Perfect sense.
It was very predictable.
Come on, yeah.
Heartbreaking though. Heartbreaking to see him root for the other team.
I mean, that's the old school way.
That is OS for life. I mean, big time Tommy had a good series for the boys.
Big time Tommy had a good series. Tommy Pham had 3 more hard hit balls on Wednesday. The guy is he's just really ripping the cover off the ball. Have to shout out myself and Mike Petriello for calling him an X factor in the offseason. Both of us said that, and it's happened to come a little bit true. Is at the point now where the whole month of April, every time Tommy Pham got out in a big spot, I was getting tweets like, I can't believe you said this guy was going to be good. We have to get him off the team right now. Now every single time he does something good, people are like, we love Tommy Pham. Big time Tommy for life. And since May 28th, as courtesy of John, 12 games for Tommy Pham. He has a 342, 395, 789 slash line. That 789 slugging percentage is the 3rd best in all of baseball during that span.
That's the old school way.
Corbin Carroll, Shohei Ohtani are 1-2.
So the MVPs.
Yeah, the two MVPs and then Tommy Pham.
Corbin Carroll's so good.
Yeah, so Shohei
If you're gonna mention Corbin Carroll, I'm just gonna tell you how good he is. He's so good.
It's ridiculous.
Both on my fantasy teams.
Shout out to my boy Dalton. Came from Arizona. He was at the game yesterday.
Shout outs this
Yeah,
episode.
we had a lot of the boys in town this week. I mean, Dalton was used to work with him at my old job. No free ads for them because they don't deserve it.
No.
And he came to a Subway Series game last year, the first time he hung out in New York. The vibe was so electric. This year, he literally planned a whole trip to New York around the Subway Series.
That's a big tip of the cap.
It is, yeah. And then he had a great day bowling as well.
That door scared me. And Brian
scary
flinched too.
door.
I've never seen you move like that back there. You're normally gets a nice little nap in while we're going. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then as we're talking about the offense, we have to shout out Mark Vientos, one of John's favorite players in the world. He had a 114.9 mile per hour single off of Garrett Cole.
Smoked it.
Turned around a fastball too, and we have talked about Mark Vientos. If he does have a hole in his game right now, with his struggling with velocity, he turned it around. Hardest hit ball by a Met this season.
100%. And Mark Vientos, when he hits the ball, has been hitting it hard. John, scoreboard man over
Yeah,
here,
as we know.
going a little Mets Twitter viral because he put up who had the highest average exit velos over a certain amount of time or whatever it was.
I'll get it exactly right
pull it
here.
up.
Yeah, because it was tweeted by
Friend of the
by-
podcast.
Yeah, friend of the podcast, Tim Healy tweeted
Healy.
it out. Where he might have taken it down because I don't see it.
No, I didn't take it down.
No, it's right there. Just click the picture.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
Just click the picture.
So yeah, courtesy of John right here, the highest average exit velocity for any hitter in the National League with a minimum of 35 plate appearances. Ellie De La Cruz, Ronald Acuna Jr., Mark Vientos, Matt Olson. And that was before the single.
yes, that was
It
before the
was.
single.
So
So it
he-
was foreshadowing.
Yeah,
is what
so-
it was.
Exactly.
He might
So
have taken
He might
over.
have jumped up because he only has 10 batted balls.
yeah.
15.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Mark Vientos right now might have the highest average exit velocity for any player in the National League.
It's cool. It's a
Yeah,
cool stat.
it is really cool. It's a cool stat. Hitting the ball hard is really good.
Love when he's in the lineup. Love to see him there.
And
Love
there were a
when he's
lot of
swinging
people
the
that
bat.
responded to that. That were like, "Oh, who cares? Exit velocity is overrated." I don't
Exit
get.
velocity is not
I mean,
overrated.
like, I'm not gonna get into it with these people online.
Of course not.
But like, hitting the ball hard is the name of the game. The more you do it, it's all about the process, folks. That's it. Mark Vientos, the process is good.
When did you see the replies to that tweet?
After it went up.
Should have been working,
But
John.
you came in here and then
Yeah.
they brought up the tweet to you
Yeah.
and you acted like you hadn't seen it yet.
Good point, Vito.
No, I saw
Oh,
it. I think I
caught
retweeted
him.
it.
But you came in here and
did
they
act
said
like
we have
it.
to
He
talk
did,
about
yeah.
the tweet. You said,
He
what
was like,
tweet are you
"What?
talking
Really?"
about? And then they had to say Tim
Oh,
Healy. You went,
no. Well, there were two. Another writer
Oh, yeah.
took a picture and wrote LOL.
He said
Yeah.
he did say the D shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
We can't.
No, it's fine.
No,
Okay.
okay. Disha.
He's just great.
Yeah.
We've always been
Incredible
big fans.
reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
was
yeah.
always a part of the list of people that we said were good.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was
John, I'm
Disha,
sorry.
yeah.
I think it was the sample size that, but the thing is, I'm just trying to put out there that even though he doesn't get regular plate appearances, when he does,
He hits the ball
he
hard.
hits the ball hard. He hits it far too. We talked about a couple episodes
Yeah.
ago his average fly ball distance.
It is nuts.
The Mets also hit this series an ungodly amount of Yankee Stadium home runs. We put the ball to the warning track in right field maybe 7 times in 2 games.
If this game was in Yankee
Yep.
Stadium, the Mets
Yeah.
win by 20,
Yeah, the Mets probably had 14 runs. Yankees still had the same 3.
which is crazy. Crazy. Even we'll talk about it later, I guess, but Nimmo's ball too. We don't
No,
even
of
have
course.
to sweat that one.
Yeah, but just even to get now to the low point of this game,
We got to talk about it.
Yeah, the Yankees stole home, the 3rd ever straight steal of home in the Subway Series, first ever by a Yankee.
After a double play that could have been turned by
Mm-hmm.
Jeff McNeil, who made a great turn on a double play with Giancarlo Stanton running earlier in the game. But McNeil made a bit of a tough throw. Who was running? Was IKF?
It was IKF. IKF has really good speed.
Met Killer.
It was, yeah, and it looked like Mark Vientos probably could have dove off the base and made a stop, but it was a hard play all around. The Yankees took advantage of it, and then IKF stole second.
Bad throw.
Francisco threw it to center field. He took third, and then Brooks Raley was pitching out of the windup
Yeah.
as a lefty with a man on third. IKF led probably conservatively 55 feet down the
Yeah,
line.
everybody got
and
caught sleeping.
Yeah, he took home very, very easily.
And it was like at that
It,
point,
it hurt a lot.
we were feeling pretty down. We were out
Yeah,
in center field.
I was freaking out.
That was like, man, I think I said to you, I was like, we can't just lose. Like we have to lose like this.
That was right before the 7th inning stretch, and Take Me Out to the Ball game was playing in the stadium, and it felt dystopian.
Yeah.
Lazy Mary didn't hit at all. I said that tonight. I was like, Lazy
All
Mary's
the
not hitting right now.
All the freaking Yankee fans were doing it, all the animal.
You know what? I do want to say one thing that hit a lot harder tonight than it did night one, and that was the anthem and the fireworks tonight hit so much harder. I'm not
Is
saying
that a
this-
shot at John?
It's not. No, night one, I don't think it hit. Like I was standing in the dugout during smoke,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh man, they didn't go as crazy as they usually do.
well,
and
the
then tonight,
fireworks hit because we won.
No, I'm talking about the Anthem fireworks tonight.
okay.
The Anthem fireworks tonight for Game 2.
Yeah.
The crowd was much more amped up pre-game today than they were yesterday.
We were eating. I don't know what was going on. I didn't experience
It was
that.
cool. It was cool on the win. It was cool.
There were low moments before this game today.
Yeah.
Sure, Garrett Cole on the mound, like Verlander coming off the bad start. Like it was kind of a scary feel.
Yeah.
The Mets having lost at the time, it was what, 10 or 11 games. Like it was a little eerie.
Everyone felt just a little tight.
And then even after we're talking about now, there were two really bizarre plays late in this game I think we probably should address.
Yeah, we got to talk about.
The first being the one when the Mets were on offense, where they had the bases loaded and 2 outs, Starling Marte, the very clutch single to tie the game.
That you called.
That
you
did call.
literally
I said
said
he's gonna hit it
exactly
right there
where.
in between Volpe and Donaldson, and the kid next to me was like, "Yeah!" But as that was happening, Vientos, who was actually he's in like the 17th percentile sprint speed, he wasn't sent on a ball that was right in front of him, which I guess makes sense. 2 outs, like maybe be more aggressive, kind of depends on the coach, the feel, everything. And Nimmo kind of figured he was gonna go home and took a very large turn, and then he got backpicked at second base, and it was one of the most razor thin replay reviews we've ever seen. Apparently in ESPN, they thought he was going to be called safe.
Normally,
they played on the replay board. Everybody was cheering.
And normally, I feel like you can get like frame by frame and actually get a right answer. I don't know. Like to me and you, I was like, I don't think you can actually overturn this one. Like there is no definitive proof that I think Brandon Nimmo got his hand back in time. We were like one of the few people who were like, I don't think this is going to
And because they said the play stand is not confirmed.
Yes, that tells you like, hey, we don't know, but we called him out, so he's still out.
There was also a crazy moment like we did forget to mention from Tuesday.
Yeah.
A crazy moment where Drew Smith was ejected from the game for use of sticky stuff. And that was like the 7th inning, whatever. And now we're going to be without Drew Smith for 10 games, which
is a
stinks
killer.
because he's been one of the better relievers in our bullpen this
And
year.
you're not allowed to fill that spot
Yes.
with
That's the
another
worst
player.
part of it.
So
By
now
far
the
the worst
Mets
part
are
of it.
carrying 12 pitchers
Yes.
for a bullpen that's been very used, very taxed.
Yes.
That's a killer.
Yes. And we are getting a couple more off days next few weeks. We're going to have next few Mondays off, which is a blessing.
Nice.
And the fact that we're going to get to the All-Star break soon. So,
And today, when you guys are listening, is an off day, which
yeah,
is huge.
2 off days this week. Very helpful for this. But it does stink that now we're not going to have Drew Smith for 10 days.
Yeah, would have loved to have been able to have that arm, or at least use that arm in some kind of capacity.
Yeah.
And they're going to Texas, where Drew Smith is from. They go to Houston.
That stinks.
That does
Yeah.
stink.
Damn.
Yeah.
Ugh. Sorry, Drew.
Sorry, Drew.
Wish you could be there. Wish you could be there. But let's talk about the other weird one.
Yeah, now probably the weirdest one of the whole thing happened on Wednesday night, where Jeff McNeil was called for the second shift violation ever since that rule is new this year.
Yes, that's correct. The White Sox are guilty of the first.
Yes, of
That
course,
makes
of
sense.
course they are. And
makes
Mike
sense.
Petriello very, very intelligently pointed out the Mets are the first team in the same game to have given up a pure steal of home and have a shift violation.
That is true.
which is really, really nice
Can't
to hear.
argue it.
Yes.
That's going to go on the Cespedes barbecue thread
Yeah.
of random,
Yeah.
ridiculous tweets.
And I tweeted about it, just the fact that the rule states that it's at the time of the pitch, and it was kind of inconclusive where Jeff McNeil was.
Yeah.
But you guys can take that as you will.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt weird. To me, it's not in the spirit
Yeah.
of the rule, but
The Mets did win the most challenges last year.
that's a true fact.
That's a true fact. They did.
They were very good at
Yeah,
it.
so
I don't
that-
know.
and
Luckily,
it-
it didn't matter.
It was a weird moment. Jeff
Luckily, it didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter, thank God, because it took that bat from Giancarlo Stanton where he would have been 0-2, and then it became 1-1, and immediately became 2-1, and that at the moment was really enraging because Anthony Volpe was dancing off second base, and the Yankees' best hitter in the lineup was at the plate, and it was a tie game, and it was a really nervous, tense situation. So
Yeah.
thankfully, it didn't wind up having any impact on the game, but I think this will be a dialogue that probably will be part of baseball these next few days.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it was super interesting. And again, luckily, it did not matter. It was completely fine. Everything was okay. But it was just like in the ballpark, especially because they don't tell you when you're in the ballpark.
Yeah.
The umpire just does
he
this.
points.
Just points and touches his shoulders like it's a 30-second timeout in the NBA. Just a little more communication would be nice from a fan's perspective when you're at the ballpark. On TV, obviously, you know what's going on.
And if you guys want a visual of this, I posted a tweet when this happened of the official rule and the image of Jeff McNeil where he was during the pitch. So you can check that out if you want.
Yeah, James_Shiano.
James_Shiano.
Let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the game here because, of course, the Mets did bring it back after they had, that stuff we talked about, the Vientos not being sent. We go to extras.
We really owe a big shout out to Dominic Leone.
Yeah, and yours truly, you know, I like to make bets. I like to make just little friendly wagers that are just like between us or like
Or with yourself.
with myself, honestly, a lot of times.
You've already given away the naming rights of your first two born children.
Patrick and Albert
Yes.
will be the first two sons of mine because I will have sons. That's how it works. It's very controllable.
Just like Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, just like Dwight Schrute. You got to keep the womb a certain temperature. That's what I think what he said. But
Very hot for the first, I think, 12 hours after
Then
conception.
very cold.
Very cold for the next 9 months.
Yes.
That's how you have a son, in the words of Dwight Schrute.
so we've done that. I did a Todd Frazier jersey tweet before 2021 when he hit that big one against the Phillies.
Yes.
I did a Jason Vargas shout.
Yeah.
This is a Subway Series one as well. So if Jason Vargas got the win at Yankee Stadium back in 2019, I'd buy a Jason Vargas jersey. I have a Jason Vargas jersey. And then we also have the Trevor May jersey from the chaos game that was in Cincinnati, where I was like, I thought I was going to buy an Anthony Banda shirt.
Yeah.
Because I was like, whoever gets the save for this Mets win, I'll buy the jersey. It was Trevor May. He called me out when I didn't tweet about it the next day. He's like, where's the jersey? We're friends now, so it's cool. I have to buy a Dominic Leone jersey. I told James, I said, if Dominic Leone, because he came into the game, and he makes me nervous. I'm not going to lie. I get nervous with Dominic Leone. But in 10th inning, I look at James and I go, if he gets the win here, I'm a Dominic Leone guy. I'll start being the biggest fan there is. I'm going to buy a Dominic Leone jersey. And Dominic Leone got the win for the boys. He was shut out. And, I mean, John, you gave me the stat. Go for it. Tell me about how good he's been. He's been great.
Well, I had this ready in the control room when he came in, and I said it out loud, and
You put
everyone
it
was
up on
like,
the board.
John, what are you doing?
I got really pissed when you put it on the board.
And I texted you guys,
Yep.
and I was like,
Johnny Jinx.
everyone's going to be mad, and guess what? It didn't happen to Jinx. Dominic Leone has inherited now 9 runners, and not one of them has come around to score, baby.
And I feel like he hasn't given up a run in a while.
Dominic Leone
been
gave up 2 earned runs on June 4th against the Blue Jays, but otherwise in his last 9 appearances, he hasn't given up any. His ERA is under 2, going back all the way to May 20th. Since the end of the Cleveland series, he's been one of the steadiest relievers in his bullpen. He has great command. Right now, his stuff plus readings, as per Fangraphs, are pretty okay across the board. They're totally average. He's league average stuff, better than league average command. He's been a really valuable piece for this bullpen, a really good pull by this Mets team off the scrap heap.
Happy to be wrong.
Yes.
Happy to be wrong. Happy to have the Dominic Leone jersey. I've got to be the only people outside of his family that own it, and maybe they don't even have a Dominic Leone Mets jersey yet.
And interesting because these Mets and Yankees 10th innings mirrored each other because they were both led off by their 9 hitters who were prospects that had just been called up. Anthony Volpe, who actually had probably his best series of the year, even though this year he's statistically one of the worst players in baseball.
You had to sneak that in there.
I just had to sneak it in because it's very true. Statistically, he's one of the worst hitters in baseball in terms of batting average, WRC plus, on base percentage, even by a lot of defensive metrics. Seems like he's not really handling shortstop very well. He's very small for that position. But striking out that first batter in 10th inning is so critical to keeping that run off the board. And then it did happen to Mark Vientos also in the bottom of the inning, but shout out the Mets. Brandon Nimmo, baby.
Brandon Nimmo.
Continuing his career year, continuing just becoming.
And he jumped on the board early for us, too, with
did,
that home run.
That was Tuesday.
On Tuesday, yeah.
Just continuing to grow into the leadership role in this team. Had a huge. It turned out to actually be ruled a triple because he was really humming
Was it a
around.
triple?
Oh, they gave him a
They
triple.
gave him a triple.
Yeah.
I mean, because Escobar sat because it looked like there was a chance Jake
There
Bauers
was
would
a
go back.
chance he was catching
Because
that
Jake
ball.
Bauers did make a miracle catch like that in Game 1 on Tuesday.
But thank goodness he looked like a guy who's never played right field before because he doesn't play right field on that other ball with Nimmo.
Yes, but in Escobar, the hustle around there was even half a play at the plate, which is kind of funny.
It's a little close.
Yeah, Nimmo did make it to third base. Mark Simon, who is, I believe, the head of Baseball Stats Solutions, said it is the second ever walk-off triple with a runner already on second base in the history of baseball. The last one was 1926, the Browns versus the White Sox.
That's why it can't be a walk-off triple. Like, if you're playing a football game in your backyard and you have enough people, so, like,
Yeah.
you do station-to-station
Ghost
ball.
runner, ghost runner,
Exactly.
yeah.
But they got there.
I know. It's like the Grand Slam single,
And,
sort of.
Yeah.
and when it happened in 1926, Mark Simon, who I think he actually DM'd me before, he listens to this podcast
Yeah.
sometimes, so I hope he's listening tomorrow because it'd be a really funny shout out. The person who wrote in the newspaper in 1926 said the official score couldn't keep his big heart from bursting through to give the hitter a triple. Oscar Malillo.
Most exciting play in baseball.
It is most time playing baseball.
Yeah.
Brandon Nimmo got one, so that was it.
He's also hitting 345 against lefties now. Aaron Boone made the change. Also, another terrible ruling. Albert Abreu gets the loss.
Yeah.
That's come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
You know what?
bad.
You know what also is terrible? I'm calling out the Met fans. Brandon Nimmo is 12th on the All-Star voting for outfielders when the numbers came out. The dude is having an all-star year. Why are we not voting? Why are we letting Atlanta vote in Michael Harris, who stinks this year? I know he's getting hot because the Mets helped him out there.
I helped him out.
Yeah, you did. But why are we not voting for our guys? Brandon Nimmo, out of anybody on this team, deserves to be an all-star 100%. Francisco Alvarez, too. We've been saying it for a while. But vote. Go vote. You get 5 a day. Use them. Every other team stuffs the box. Why can't Mets fans do it? Like, it's unacceptable.
No, it is. We ended the series with a split, much needed win by the Mets, and we're kind of now heading into this upcoming weekend series with the Cardinals with a little bit better vibes, the ability to really get back in the win column against an organization that I loathe, despise. I'm sure you guys all do as well.
Course.
I'll hate the Cardinals till the second I die. But before we get there to preview that series, John, we got the results of the estimate.
We do. There were 20 total strikeouts by the 4 pitchers combined, so
I
James
lose.
wins again.
We don't have whiteboards, right?
I think that's 6 in a row for me.
That is 6 in a row. Mark, you are messing up. I do not have my whiteboards with me.
It's all right. It's fine. We'll just shout.
Well, he God forbid he brought down the whiteboards. I mean,
John had to bring a lot of the stuff.
I asked John to bring down a
Got a wrist
table
injury,
and a
guys.
skirt.
Wrist
and
injury.
I have a wrist problem.
You got so nasty with me on the phone when I said, "Can you bring down a table and a skirt?"
Johnny Hollywood's got his own podcast now. He's got his makeup done.
Future Flushing podcast. Check it out.
His primer.
Before we get to estimate, I have a trivia question for the two of you. And I want you two to put your heads together. And here's how it's going to work. I'm going to ask you the question. You guys are going to have, it's like the old home run derby rules. If you get 5 wrong, you lose. If you can name all of them, you win. And if these two win, they can have me do whatever as long as it doesn't involve cheese. I refuse to eat cheese. Cheese is gross. Don't eat cheese.
We're making John. Okay, there's
Have
two.
you thought of it
There's two
already?
ways I want to go. I think 1, 9 hot dogs, 9 innings.
I love that.
I think is awesome.
The only thing I don't like about that
I would
is
sign
that
for that.
I don't
We don't
want
get to experience it.
I know, and I also don't.
You can sit in the control room and
You can't do that during a game, though. You're not gonna be able to give like commands. Like, you know how taxing it is on the mind.
You know the nitrates?
And also, I don't want to make John do that with a newborn.
That's fair.
Because
That's fair.
we really
I'll be up
need-
anyway all night.
We
Doesn't
really
matter.
need him to be contributing to the household. We really do. We need John to pitch in.
Fair enough. Okay. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, we can think of something now.
All right.
We can't think of it now.
Okay, yeah,
we
can think of it now.
And,
That's
he can't have cheese.
No cheese.
No cheese.
Cheese. All right. Anyway.
That would be funny if John had to run like a 5K inside the stadium.
He loves that.
He'd
I
love
know.
that.
That's why I was like, he likes running.
I try to beat my previous time.
What are you gonna do next? Make him add up a bunch of numbers?
Yeah. Make John eat a salad.
My 3 favorite things.
Salmon.
Oh, we could tell him maybe like no sriracha for a month.
We can't police that.
On the honor
That's
code.
honor. Yeah, we'll
But
figure it
I
out.
don't really trust
What
him.
if? How about he has to do laundry for his pregnant wife?
That's a really good call.
She doesn't want that because I'd mess
You'll
it
mess
up.
it
You know,
up,
things are
yeah.
being
It's-
shrunken.
you click 3 buttons.
That's a good move. That's a pro move to say, I'll mess it up.
Yeah, I will mess it up. Yeah.
All right, give us a
All
trivia.
right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
So tonight was the 10th walk-off win in Mets history against the Yankees. You guys have to name. You obviously know Brandon Nimmo. Your freebie right there.
Okay.
9 other guys with walk-off RBIs. The one RBI that won the game, by the way.
Starling Marte.
Starling Marte.
That's 1.
Ahmed Rosario, David Wright.
That's 2. That's 3.
So we have 4 out of 10.
You do.
Does Pete?
Yep. 5.
Okay. So now we gotta go back.
Yeah, we gotta go back.
We gotta go back.
And you gotta remember interleague plays. Like,
It's from 90.
Only 97. Only 97. Dave Malicki. First game ever between the two
Should
teams.
we let the listeners choose what John's punishment is?
They can get
involved.
First, we have to get this right.
Yeah.
Piazza on there?
So we can't guess wrong. Is that
If
your
you
thing?
guess,
We have 5
you
wrong
got 5
guesses.
wrong guesses, and then you lose.
Okay. I don't know.
Oh, I want to guess Piazza just because
It's like just by logic,
he's
RBIs.
great
but,
against the Yankees.
But here's the thing. But John's grinning, so there's gonna be a lot of randos on. Here.
yeah.
And we weren't alive for most of these. We were alive for all of them, but we weren't conscious baseball watchers for at least a handful of these.
Yeah, was the Dae-Sung Koo game, was that a
Nope, not a
walk-off?
walk-off.
Okay.
That was
Is that one?
No, I know
That was,
he
that
wasn't
was
a
also not a
walk-off.
guess. We were
Is
just
that
having a
one?
conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, stop like thinking out loud and throwing names out there. Those are guesses.
Okay, okay.
So that's the
You-
last
fine.
one. I'm not going to count that
Well,
one.
control
Cool.
yourself and don't acknowledge it.
No. That's fine. That's fine. He's right.
I
Control yourself.
I genuinely don't have the next one in my mind. Like I don't have one
All right,
popping into
I
my
just
head.
want to say, I'm going to say Mike Piazza.
No.
Okay.
You're thinking of the Ramiro Mendoza home run.
Yes.
That was
Okay.
But there was one in that game that you're missing.
Okay.
I'm going to give you one because there's literally no chance you're going to get it. The first one.
Wait, give me the year. Can I?
1998. Brian, yes, please.
What do you got, Brian?
Yes. Brian's a big Devils fan. He still is. I asked Brian last year if they need 5 Devils from the 2000 team, and I'm still waiting for 5 Devils. So go ahead, Brian. Let's hear it.
What the heck was this? Isn't it Luis Lopez?
Yes, that's the toughest one. Luis Lopez.
Never.
Not the first one. Yeah.
Never. Okay.
Yes, that's the one that they're missing. That was the great game.
Is it Matt Franco?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You guys have 3 left.
Yeah.
You're not getting them.
We're not getting them.
Not.
I mean,
getting
you
it.
have 4. You still have 4 guesses. You're not. Go ahead.
Can I just throw out names if I think of them, James?
I guess, but I mean,
Good job, Brian.
that was big.
That was
Luis
good.
Lopez. I literally don't know who
Yeah.
that guy
Me
is.
neither. Matt Franco's a good
Middle
one.
infielder.
Middle infielder.
Luis Lopez. is
Oh, I
middle
thought you were
infielder.
giving us a hint of a middle infielder. I'm like,
All
oh.
right. I'm going to give you.
Give me years. Just give me like a year.
All right.
More my 99.
99 was Matt Franco.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to give you years. So the Mets swept the Yankees at Shea Stadium in 2004. And it is not Richard Hidalgo who had the massive series.
Go for it.
It's also not Ty Wingington.
Mike Cameron.
No.
Oh, okay.
3 more guesses. Oof.
I got a weird guess. If it's a 2004 guy, it's just like a weird guess.
I'll give you a clue also. I'll oblige you.
Okay.
He played for both the Mets and the Yankees, this guy.
Kareem Garcia.
No, the other one. Who's the other one of
Who's
the
the
two
other
of them
one on
that
that
came
team?
over? By the way, you got what? That's 2 left?
That was a
Yeah, the
four.
great rookie who
2004?
came up for the Yankees hit a bunch of home runs when he came up.
Oh.
No, outfielder. Initials, both.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Shane Spencer.
Oh. Did he have one of them?
Yes, he did.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. So you know what? I give that to you.
That's
I
thanks.
give
I
it
mean,
to you.
we're
You got
I
2
I
more.
couldn't find that name.
okay. Give us the other years.
2011 and 2013.
Oh, we should be.
Yeah, we should be able to get those.
The
I think we
2011
just gotta start
game,
throwing names.
Ronnie
out.
Paulino tied the game up with a
Ronnie
big hit.
Paulino. Wow.
And then who walked it off?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I wear his jersey to the beach because I don't mind getting it messed up.
Jason Bay.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Don't you?
I'm done giving you
Yeah, you
guys
don't give us
clues.
hidden now.
I'm
I
Digging
think
my own grave here.
That was 2011.
that was 2011.
The 2013.
The
Let's think about the
2013 game,
2013.
yeah.
bad
Mets.
team. It's a really
This year
really
the
bad
Mets
team.
swept the Yankees all 4 games they played.
I was at this game.
Do you know who had the walk-off
I
hit?
can't remember.
No.
Because you can answer.
You can
I
answer.
can't remember. I remember everything about that game. I remember it was a rain delay.
Yeah,
I remember I got
RV.
invited to the game like 40 minutes, into the game, but it hadn't started.
This is man.
God.
I don't
We
know.
have 2 guesses. We have to give 2 guesses from the 2013 starting lineup.
You just guess one. We'll just each guess one.
I
and
really
that's how we
gave
have
them
to
a
go
lot of
down.
answers.
You
so
did.
If
You
they
gave us the hardest ones. This
I
is
did.
good. Oh, man.
Just say something.
Ryan got
I'm
Luis
thinking.
Lopez. That was easily the toughest one.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Matt-
I mean
yeah,
that's
Matt Franco,
that's
yeah.
a great
I think
game.
Matt Franco's really good.
I thought it was. I'm not going to say because I don't
All
know
right,
what to
you,
count as
you
a
have like
guess.
60 more
yeah,
seconds.
Yeah, we can't do this much longer. Just throw out a name, James. Put it on me. Put the pressure on me. Say a name.
I can't even think of a name now. I'm just blanking on everything. 2013.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Terry Collins, manager.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna throw a crazy name out there.
Do it.
John Mayberry Jr.
No.
No.
2015 Mets.
Oh,
Next.
he's 2015.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
2013. How obscure is this?
Not that obscure at all.
Oh, okay. I thought it was really.
Is it not that obscure or is it not obscure?
I'm done helping you
Yeah,
guys.
that's fair. That's fair. Easy. Go for it.
Oh.
Go for it. Just do it.
Lucas Duda.
Yes!
I said that one. That was my first instinct.
Let's go.
Oh my
All right,
God.
guy, all right.
Listeners, help us think of a funny
Oh,
punishment for
no.
John.
We won't do
We won't
back
make it.
as
We'll
John
screw
gave
him up.
us.
He helped us a lot.
John gave
Maybe
us
like
hints.
7.
We've
yeah,
had
10
Mark and I
pretty
have
much.
each had to do one punishment in this podcast. I had to eat 9 hot dogs in 9 innings. Mark had to wear a tuxedo for
That's
a full
true.
game.
John will do something fair.
We'll do something.
Something
yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Nothing to ruin his life at home. He's got the kid in
No.
the way.
Yeah.
That's true. All right,
Okay,
let's
Baby
get the
Barry.
estimate and
All
then
right.
you do the
Estimate.
series.
Let's
All right,
Let's get out
so
of here.
Cardinals coming in. Cardinals staff, 7th lowest strikeout rate. Mets as a team, offensively, 5th lowest strikeout rate. So it's very simple. How many strikeouts will the Cardinals have pitching-wise in this 3-game series?
Okay.
Now you guys check out the pitching
Yeah,
matchups.
I'm gonna look at the 2023 Cardinals roster real quick. James, what are the pitching matchups? Do you have them for us?
Not yet. I was looking up the Cardinals stats actually. I think they have a lower strike.
We got
rate than
Miles
that.
Michaelis on Friday.
The Lizard King.
We got Adam Wainwright,
God,
hopefully for the last time,
I'd love to end his career.
and Matthew Liberatore, acquired for Randy.
Guy
Not a
can't
good
strike
trade.
out
Not a
anybody.
good
Not a
trade.
good trade.
Not a
No,
good trade. I
bad
mean, usually
trade.
trading with the Rays winds up pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think I have a number. How many strikeouts they're gonna
Is
get
it
of
just
us?
starting pitching or the whole
No,
team?
the whole team.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of us.
Steven Matz might come out of the bullpen.
Yeah, I got
Steven
a
Matz might
number.
come out of the bullpen. All right.
I got my number.
I think.
All right, you guys are gonna have to shout them out.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I have
All
mine
right,
too.
count down.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
19.
Ooh,
Wow,
18
we've been
Can't have a
close.
tie.
We've been
same
close.
wavelength here.
Yeah,
man.
shout out the Red Sox.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Now talking about these rosters here, their pitching is bad.
We'll have to be contrite about the Cardinals here while not trying to do anything that's gonna maybe do anything bad to the Mets.
Yeah.
They are having a season that's likely below their expectations. How I'll phrase it.
Yes.
As of right now, the Cardinals have, I believe it is the 3rd worst record in baseball and the worst in the National League. only better than the Royals and the Oakland Athletics, the scorching red hot Oakland Athletics.
Yes, don't let the A's get hot.
No, they have the win streak has officially ended though. That's as of tonight. So they've now just won 7 out of 8 games.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, listen, all good things come to an end at some point.
And team leader, future Hall of Famer Nolan Arenado was very, very, very what's the word I'm looking for here? Disgruntled after the game, after their game on Wednesday, saying that you can't just call us a bad stretch anymore. We're just playing bad baseball.
I think that's true.
Yeah, I think the guys in the clubhouse can turn it around, but I really don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, like me and you, we speak about baseball all the time off the podcast. The Cardinals, we looked at this team, we're like, I just don't get it.
No,
I don't understand the hype. Like, there's flaws.
Also, as we say this, they're only 8.5 games out of first place in National League Central.
Yeah, I mean, it's a joke of a division.
It's a fake division.
Yeah, but like the pitchers that we said, like we know Adam Wainwright, but he is a shell of himself, 100%.
The Cardinals, the NL Central, every single team has negative run differential.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's the signs of good baseball.
Yep,
Negative run differential.
The Cubs have the best run differential, -1, and they're in 4th place.
You got anybody interesting with the Cardinals?
Anybody interesting? I mean, the Cardinals.
Luke and Baker's up.
Yeah,
that's an interesting player.
The Cardinals hitters are like top to bottom. They're having a really
their
incredible
offense is
roster.
great. Their offense is solid. Jordan Walker, young rookie, started the year up, got sent down, came back up, looks a lot better now. Looks solid. Just a freak. He was taken in the 2020 MLB draft out of high school. You have, of course, Met killer Paul DeYoung, who is definitely going to hit a home run. Just a lot.
I think Jordan Walker has now retaken the mantle from Francisco Alvarez for youngest position player in the league.
He's still 20, right?
No, he's 21. He's
Oh,
a few months
21
younger
now.
though. Francisco Alvarez 21 and a half. Walker turned 21 like just before the season began. I think he opened the season at 20 maybe.
You have not catcher Wilson Contreras because their manager themselves said he can't catch.
And then they said he couldn't catch. He had a great week of hitting when he wasn't catching, and then they put him back at catcher, and he has stopped hitting since. Ironically, I don't know what's going on in St. Louis. There's an organization that's really become accustomed to success, and now they're facing just a hair of adversity for the first time in a generation, and they're losing their minds.
And let me tell you something. I'd love to make them lose their minds even more. I'd love to stomp on their throats. I hate the Cardinals so much.
I mean, this is definitely a moment where the Mets have to be the better team.
Have to be.
Yes,
Have to
because they're facing, again, we talked about this pitching matchups. Those are not pitchers you should fear. Miles Mikolas, while he had a very good season last year, when you're kind of a location artist without good stuff, your good starts are basically having good seasons, just basically having a really good streak of luck, being able to really compete, repeat your mechanics, have good command, but command's not something that's very sticky.
Adam Wainwright throws 82.
Yeah, but still is a great curveball, and he's still going to walk into the stadium. I'm still going to want to claw my eyes out, but you just got to beat this team. And in terms of interesting guys, I'm going to look at their bullpen right now because they definitely do some interesting relievers.
I mean, you always have Jordan Hicks who throws 106.
Yeah, he does. Jordan Hicks, though, hung out with him at the Ohio State tailgate. Definitely not the friendliest guy I've ever met. Ryan Helsley was really cool. He's not going to pitch in this series on the IL. Shout out Ryan Helsley. But yeah, Jordan Hicks was not a good hang.
Yeah.
Genuinely not. And otherwise, I mean, like, I don't even know. Like,
The powder blues on Sunday will be a treat for everybody.
Do they wear the powder blues on the road?
I think they do, yeah. What was it? Father's Day 2019, they were here.
They are great jerseys.
And they wore them. Yeah,
They
we
are
saw the
great
Blue
jerseys.
Jays powdered blues a few weeks ago. Every team should have a powder blue, I think.
yeah.
I don't care the color scheme.
Yeah, just get the powder blue.
Slap the logo on the powder
Yeah,
blue.
the powder blue. Also,
Call
I
it
mean,
a day.
shout out Nolan Gorman. He was a high-end prospect who then kind of fell by the wayside because people were concerned with his strikeout rate. He still has a 30% strikeout rate in the major leagues, but he has developed into being one of the best power hitters in the league so far.
They also still have Paul Goldschmidt,
Yeah,
Nolan Arenado.
former MVP.
Nolan Arenado started the year so insanely cold,
And now he's quite
he is
good.
just back to being like, oh, remember when you guys thought I was dead? No, I'm good now again, and everything's back to normal with him. Their offense will definitely swing it, without a doubt. But if we just treat their pitchers like they are, we should be fine.
Yeah, ready to go to the series, ready to win some baseball games, ready to turn the season around after a big Subway series.
Anyways, I think that's pretty much it for this episode of the Mets'd podcast. We went long. We talked a lot, but
A lot of
thank you guys-
tangents.
Yeah, a lot of tangents. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, download, follow, all that good stuff at Mets'd on all social media. James, where can they find you?
James_Shiano.
At Giraffe Neck Mark with a C. We'll catch you guys for a Father's Day episode against the St. Louis Cardinals. Peace out.
Peace out. See you guys next time.